Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, we're talking about the best way to remove hard inquiries in 2026. I've released 2 other videos showing you various methods of how to do this. And after attempting a few methods, I will be providing you the fastest way to do this. Last year, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, they went through a major disruption after a July 2025 budget bill slashed its funding nearly in half. Now, because of this budgeting reduction, there were staff reductions and delays that essentially paused enforcement activity. It also had growing uncertainty as the current administration pushed efforts to scale back the Bureau's authority, with some factions openly advocating for elimination of this altogether. But with that being said, the CFPB did not shut down. The agency is still operating and consumers can still submit their dispute through its systems. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I gave you a method of how to remove hard inquiries through the CFPB. I also gave you another method about the Better Business Bureau. Now, that method with the Better Business Bureau, as many of you have seen, does not work anymore. So we can still rely on the CFPB in order to send our disputes. Now, there will be some updates that I will be showing you as we go through this process. I will also be giving you my updated experience. I did 3 hard inquiries on each bureau. I had all of them removed, and I'll tell you exactly how long it took for each single one and any other updated methods that you can use in order to get this done even faster. So just know, if you've used the CFPB in the past and you've gotten results, this is still a valid option. The reason I'm addressing this now is simple. The landscape is changing quickly, platforms will evolve, procedures are revised, and what worked smoothly last year sometimes can be very different today. Staying effective means that you understand these shifts instead of just assuming that things will always be the same, and that's the reason that we need to make an update to this method. Now, quick disclosures here. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not a credit repair specialist. You cannot pay me to do any sort of credit repair work for you. If you email me and you ask me on the side, I will ignore you. Again, I make videos about all things financial literacy. I've made videos on macro and microeconomics, and no one calls me an economist. So again, I'm not a credit repair specialist. I don't want to be one, so please do not ask me. This is all free information for your benefit. You do not have to pay for any of this, and this is all just to help you. The other thing that I'm going to ask more than anything is that you watch the video all the way through. Reason being, go back to my past video. I probably have over 1,000 comments, or if you combine all of them, maybe even 2,000 comments, and half of them is me responding to people. So it saves me time, but more importantly, it saves you time. Watch it all the way through. More than likely, all your questions will be answered. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before you try to remove a single hard inquiry, we need to talk about where your credit data is coming from. Now, the first option that I recommend that you use is annualcreditreport.com. Now, annualcreditreport.com is the only website authorized by federal law to provide you your official credit report from all 3 bureaus. And at the time of recording this video, you can still pull your reports weekly, which does make it easier to track while you are disputing hard inquiries. And more importantly, these reports show the data exactly as the bureau see it. So that means you're looking at the true creditor's name, the true inquiry date, and which bureau it is reporting to. Now, when you're disputing inquiries, precision matters. If the name or date you submit does not match what's on your file, then the bureau can claim that they cannot locate the item, and they will close that dispute without correcting anything. That's something I want to emphasize because a lot of people end up doing this and putting wrong information, and then they don't see the inquiry removed. So if you want to use this option, simply go to annualcreditreport.com and download your reports directly. It costs you nothing, and it gives you the most authoritative version of your credit data. Now, the second option is going to be Rising. Rising is a credit monitoring service that offers a tri-merged credit report, meaning it combines your Experian, your Equifax, and your TransUnion data into one single document. Now, the reason this can be helpful for hard inquiry removal is organization. Instead of flipping back and forth between 3 separate reports, you can quickly see which inquiries appear on which bureau, and you can also see if dates match or inquiries are showing up on a file but not the other. Rising also provides real-time dispute updates so you can see when inquiries are removed without constantly pulling fresh reports. You can start a free trial today for $1. The link will be down in the description. Either way, the objective is the same. You want a clean, readable view of your hard inquiries, and you want to be able to confirm confirm exactly how each bureau is reporting them. Once you have that clarity, the dispute process becomes far more controlled and far more effective. Now, I highly recommend that you get your report from one of these sources before you dispute your hard inquiries. That way you can make sure you're getting the correct information. That way you're not prohibited from any of this not being removed. Now, once you have your fresh credit report from either rising.com or annualcreditreport.com, you will want to come here to IdentityTheft.gov. This is going to be the FTC website. I'll put a link down in the description below. Then you'll want to click on Report Identity Theft. Then you'll want to click on Yes. And then I get a lot of questions about this section right here. Guys, it does not matter what type of inquiry that it is. Always choose credit card. It does not matter if it's an auto loan, if it's a account for like a bank account. It doesn't matter what it is. Always pick credit card accounts for everything. All right. And then we're going to click Continue. And then we're going to click to open a fraudulent credit card account. And then we will click Continue. Now, this first section where it says theft details, you can completely bypass this. You will not enter any information here. You will then click Continue. Now, on this next section, your information, you will enter your first name, your last name, your phone number, your email address, date of birth, your current mailing address, and how long that you have been there. These last two sections here, you can leave them as the default no. Now, one other thing I want to come back to is entering your phone number. If you submit this request various times, you may not be able to receive a verification code. Now, if you can no longer receive a code, you can either clear cache, open a new browser, clear your history, go incognito or a private window, or just use a different device altogether. Sometimes it has to do with the IP address. So if you did it on your computer, try doing it from your phone. If you did it from your phone, then your computer. Or again, try Google Chrome or try Safari. If you were using Firefox, you can try any of these methods. If all else fails, you need to use a different phone number. If you don't have a backup phone number, then you can try using a Google Voice number. That does work sometimes as well. And if none of this works for whatever reason, just wait some time, like a day or two, and then try again, and you should be good to go. Now, in section 3, suspect information, you can just select no, not at this time, and hit continue, and then we'll be on the additional information screen. Now here, have you received a copy of your credit report? Yes, you should have that fresh copy of your report. Was there any fraudulent accounts in your report? No, not at this time. And then none of the above if there was any personal information wrong on the report. Now, this is where I want you to pay attention. When you apply for credit, the lender will place an inquiry in your file. Inquiries are listed near the end of your credit report. If you see any inquiries that you did not initiate, please list up to 3 here. Now, again, like it says right here, you can only put up to 3. If you have more, then you will enter any additional in the personal statement section of your report, which we will get to next. So let's add 3 here. So I just added Bank of America, January 1st, 2026. Let's add another one. I added Wells Fargo, January 2nd, 2026, and then we'll do one more. Then I did PNC, January 3rd, 2026. And as you can see here, I have no more room left. I cannot add any more inquiries. So now we will move on to the next screen. Now for everything else that you see here, leave the default no, 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 and then click on continue. Okay, so now we're in the personal statement section. This is where you're going to actually say what happened, and this can be very short, very brief. Once again, we already added 3 inquiries. Now we're going to add our 4th one here, and I just put Truist Bank, January 4th, 2026, and something very simple. Please remove this hard inquiry from my credit report, and that is it. You guys can put whatever you would like. Please remove this hard inquiry from my credit report. I don't recognize this. I don't recognize these. You want to just put something like that. But again, try to use your own verbiage. Don't try to use the exact same thing. Just make it unique to you, but it's very simple. Just something like this. Now, once you have your report, it's going to show all the information that we just went over. Your first name, your last name, your address, your phone number, your email. Make sure all that information is correct. And then you'll notice all the credit inquiries are going to be here. But once we download this, we'll see the other one that's in the personal statement section. Now, the information will probably be blurred out for you, but once this is done, you'll hit finalize. Now, in this section, you don't want to create an account. You want to hit no thanks, submit without an account, and then it's going to ask you again, hit submit without an account once more, and then click continue, and then it's going to bring us our report. You can now download the report right here. Now this is a one-time copy, so if you go off of this page, you'll have to repeat this entire process again. So now I have my report downloaded, and as you can see right here, it has my personal statement section with the other inquiries, and then it has the first 3 that I put here. So if you have multiple, this is exactly how it should look. Once we have this downloaded, we will now go to the CFPB. All right, so currently we are on the CFPB. I'm going to put a link in the description for this website as well. You'll want to scroll down and you want to go to start a new complaint. Now, if you've done this before, you'll already have an account. If not, then you can go here and you can create one. But if you have an account, click on already submitted a complaint or created an account. Once you do that, you will be able to log in. And then once we log in, we'll be able to submit this complaint. All right, so now that we're on step 1, the first thing that you'll want to do is click on credit reporting or other personal consumer reports. And then you'll want to click on what type of credit reporting product, credit report, and then you'll click on next. And then you'll look for credit inquiries on your report that you don't recognize. And then have you already tried to fix this problem? Yes. Did you request information from the company? Yes. You don't have to actually put the information that was requested. That's optional. Did the company provide this information? No, and then click on next. So now on step number 3, the what happened section, you can describe exactly what the complaint is about. So very simple for hard inquiries. Please remove these or this unauthorized hard inquiry from my credit report. You guys can put something along those lines. I don't recognize them. Again, put it in your own words, and then you'll list the hard inquiries just like this. To be honest, you can just copy and paste it from your actual affidavit. It's very easy to do that. And then with the next section right here, what would be a fair resolution? Honestly, it's the exact same thing. You want them to remove the hard inquiries. Now, you don't need to check this box. You don't need to publish the description or anything like that. You just want to take whatever here and you can copy and paste it here, because the same issue that you're describing is going to really be the same as the resolution. Now, right here, to verify your identity, you need to add a copy of your driver's license, a copy of the affidavit. You also want to add a copy of your social security card. And the last thing I would add is a copy of your credit report that shows the hard inquiries. So that's one thing that I've noticed that has changed. If you don't include all 3 identification documents for hard inquiries and a copy of the credit report showing it, and the name has to match exactly what's on the report. If you don't do that, then they may not remove the hard inquiries. Now, once you have all of that added, you can then click on next. Now, the one great thing about the CFPB is that, let's say all the information was the same for each bureau. Let's say that the way that the Bank of America inquiry was listed was the same on Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You can submit one affidavit with all your other documents, and then you can submit it to each bureau at the same time instead of it being separately. So to do this, let's say that I was looking for Experian. Experian will come up here. I would use the very first one, either this lowercase one or the one in all caps. And then you're going to check each one of these boxes. And when you do that, you're going to enter the last 4 of your social. You're going to enter your date of birth, and then you're going to enter your name as it appears on your credit report. Okay. Then it's going to say, do you want to complain about another company? You would click on yes. And then here you can add Equifax. And then it's going to be usually this one, Equifax Information Solutions or Equifax Inc. Either one is fine. It doesn't really matter. And then have you already tried to fix this problem with the company? It's going to be all the same things. Yes, yes, and no. And then same thing, check all these boxes. And then you'll want to enter your information once more. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is add, of course, the third bureau, which will be TransUnion. And you can use this first one that comes up right here, TransUnion. And then have you already tried the same exact thing? Yes, yes, and then no. And then you'll enter, check these boxes, and then enter your information once more. Now, this is very important too. When you're submitting the information, make sure you always select myself. You always have to choose myself. Now, once you select myself, your information will come up and you'll just verify that everything is correct, that everything matches. Now, I'm not going to actually submit this complaint, so I'm going to stop right here. The next screen will just be for you to review everything and then you can submit. All right, so before we wrap up this video, I just want to go over a couple of things with you. I want to go over exactly what the time frames will be for this to be resolved. Again, I put 3 hard inquiries from each bureau, and I documented exactly how long it took from each one of these. So for Experian, it was about 7 to 10 days. I will also say that with Experian, I had to submit one of them twice. I'm not sure why, but for whatever reason, one of them just nothing happened. I did have to submit it twice, and then again, the time frame was about the same, 7 to 10 days. When it comes to TransUnion, I would say that was the longest bureau, but I can't really say why. Every time that I did it, it took about 30 days. Not sure why, once again, but it was just the longest one. Now, if you're having issues where, let's say you need this removed like immediately, there is a number where you can call and you can dispute this with TransUnion. I don't really like this option because the experiences have been very mixed. Not only that, but when you remove the hard inquiry, sometimes they'll put a fraud alert on your account. Then it gets sent to all 3 bureaus. Now you have to contact everyone and remove it, so it can be a hassle. The last thing that I would suggest that you try if you're in a rush is sending a letter. Now, everything that we did, you can basically take all of those documents, print them out, send a letter to TransUnion, send that letter certified. Sometimes that has faster results if the CFPB is taking too long for you. If not, I would say expect around 30 days. And when it came to Equifax, it was kind of a range, to be honest. Equifax was more like around 3 days. It was fairly quick. Now, I just put 7 to 14 days just to be fair, because sometimes it was about a week, but then I had 3 days, then I had 5 days. So let's just say 7 to 14 days for Equifax. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. So hopefully this update will come in handy. You have more information now to be able to get these hard inquiries removed, and you have an idea of the time frame. Now, once again, worst case scenario, you can always just send a letter and dispute these. It'll work the exact same way. It's not really that hard. You can also call and you can ask them to remove it. I've seen that work in 24 hours for Experian a lot. It can work for Equifax as well. And for TransUnion, again, it is mixed, but you can call if you would like. If there was something I missed or you guys still have questions, please drop that in the comments below. I will do my best to get to your question as soon as possible. If not, please check my previous videos. If I don't get to them, you may get some of your questions answered in the comments. A lot of the things that get asked are usually the exact same thing. So try some of the old videos, read through the comments. You may find your answer there. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.